If you don't have self-awareness as a leader, then you have nothing. What I mean by this is that if you can't or won't open yourself up to learn more about what makes you tick, dysfunctions and superhero qualities included, then you will struggle to lead your people and lead them well. Without self-awareness, you have nothing. And with nothing, you can't be coached, you can't improve, and you can't move successfully from one level of leadership to the next. You may struggle to get a promotion. You may struggle to build rapport with each and every member of your team. And you may struggle to manage up the organization. And there's other pitfalls as well. Self-awareness is one of the most important things you can do as a leader, and it doesn't have to be difficult. It's just a matter of choosing what you're going to focus on and paying attention to the gap between where you currently are and where you want to be. Let's take your posture, for example. If you're standing, go ahead and sit down really quick. And now that you're seated, answer the questions. How good is your posture? Are you sitting upright and in the best position to maintain back, shoulder, and neck health? Or are you slouching or leaning too far forward or to the side? How about your feet? Are they placed properly on the floor? Are they parallel to one another? If you take time to answer these questions, you're becoming more self-aware about your posture. And my guess is that now that you're thinking about it, you'll notice your posture for the rest of the day. If you're slouching, you may straighten up. You may find yourself straightening up a couple of times. If your feet are at an angle, you may straighten them out. And if you're leaning, you're going to be aware of that and you're going to make those changes. How do I know this? I know this because awareness precedes changes in behavior, which is why now when I'm sitting, I'm making sure my feet are parallel. And for me, I'm going a little extra because I know my feet are a little wonky. I'm making sure that there's a little extra weight in the ball of my big toe. Now, we can apply the same concept to leadership. Self-awareness is your strongest predictor of success. As a leader, self-awareness is huge. Why? Because knowing your strengths and weaknesses helps you interact better with those around you. It makes you more honest, more confident, more open to feedback, and better positioned even to hire employees that fit. Why am I focusing so much on self-awareness, and do I think you should? Well, it's because self-awareness makes it easier for you to build what's called power of two relationships. Power of two relationships creates stronger rapport individually and stronger teams, which in turn builds a better company. And all of this impacts the bottom line and customer and client happiness. It's been said that not only one person can build a symphony, it takes a team. And self-awareness about yourself will help you build a better team. According to the Korn Ferry Institute, there's a direct correlation between the financial performance of a company and the level of self-awareness possessed by the employees. So companies with high financial performance tend to have leaders and frontline employees who are more self-aware. You can consciously choose to become self-aware, and I encourage you to do that. Self-awareness consists of two components: how you see yourself and how others see you. One of the easiest and most effective ways to get more insight into yourself is through assessments, specifically evidence-based assessments. These can measure you from multiple perspectives. And if you combine this with a debrief session, or you have someone go over the results with you, then you are well on your way to reducing the blind spots. Next, you can discover how others see you by actively requesting feedback from people that you respect and trust. The feedback that you're requesting should be in the form of open-ended questions. I suggest keeping it as simple as possible by limiting your request to 3 questions. For example, what should I do more of? What should I do less of? What should I do differently? Once you've completed both of these steps, you'll have a clearer view of yourself and how you come across to others. From there, you can choose what to develop, what to delegate, and what, if anything, to ignore. Next, whatever you're choosing to work on, you can turn it into a practice. And that really gets your journey of self-awareness going. Put some time on the calendar, schedule some time for both internal and external feedback so that you always have this loop of getting some self-awareness on at least a quarterly basis externally. If you're looking at the assessment side of it, every 2 years or so, I would suggest completing a battery of measures. And that will make it really easy for you to take a peek inside of your own brain to see what makes you tick. And from there, you have everything you need to create a really solid development plan. So here's some suggestions for next steps. The first step to increase self-awareness is easy, and it involves a calendar. I suggest that you schedule your internal feedback. This is you assessing yourself. Put that on a calendar, schedule a time and find someone to help you conduct that, and then mark something for 2 years later. So you're going to get an internal session, and then you're going to mark that for 2 years later. Okay. And that's going to make sure that you are getting feedback, getting a little snapshot of what's going on with you regularly. And again, we're using evidence-based assessments. And then for that second part, remember I said you should ask simple questions, those 3 simple questions. For example, what can I do more of, less of, or differently? Put that on your calendar as well. That you're going to go out and request quarterly. Take a look at everything, and then you'll be good to go. So go ahead, mark that on your calendar now. Figure out when you're going to get it done, and then do it. Your employees deserve to have the best manager, the best leader possible, guiding them through their careers. Why don't you make sure that you're the best?